What is up, everybody? Welcome to the feast, episode 106, the show where you submit replays and I cast them. How's it going, guys? I'm doing well. I've got the gentleman with me here today. What's up, man?
Hey, hello. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, dude, anytime. So yeah, what we're gonna do is talk a little bit about your 7th event. I was thinking about this earlier. Do you know off the top of your head? Do you remember all the names?
The names for the faction, you mean?
Oh no, for the different seasons. Because this is like season 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the first two seasons were called the 21 duels. Then there was 12 duels for season 3. Then the 21 rooms for the pyramid. Then season 5 was the 21 generals. Season 6 was the 21 clues, and this is going to be the Magnificent 21 because it's themed after a western.
Nice, yeah. Very good. I was wondering if you'd know. Dude, you didn't miss a beat, man.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, I think, is my phone is gonna ring first, and then I'll deal with that. There we go. So we're gonna hop into a couple replays, guys. Let everybody trickle in here. Maybe we'll do let's do 3 replays, and then we're gonna dive into the next event, what's going on, all the rules and that sort of thing, where you can sign up for it. And also going on this weekend, we've got the finals for all the various divisions for TnT Championship 2020.2. That's going to be happening on Sunday, so super excited for that as well.
Yeah, and there is going to be the second summer final for Premier League right after our show.
Yeah, Kerpa's casting that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Mishi against Arelu.
Oh, dude,
so
that is going to be awesome.
To watch it.
Absolutely. Okay, all right. Let's get into some replays. Let's let some people come in here, and then we will dive into the Magnificent 21. So, you ready to hop into match number 1?
Yeah. On your mark.
Yeah, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah. So we got over on.
Okay.
All right, we got over on the right, Meek, and his opponent to the top left, Big Pimpatosh. Now, Meek, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he just barely missed it. He got eliminated by Trumpet recently, right?
Yeah. I think I had predicted Meek would come out on top in the semifinal. Or was it the semifinal? Yeah, I think it was the semifinal. So he did a top 4 in.
Yeah, that's gonna be Solomon versus Trumpet, I think. But Solomon, Meek, and Trumpet are all really good players. So that's gonna be super exciting. And Meek rocking some ferret, turret, balloon, kind of Jed Erickson nonsense this game.
Oh yeah, exactly. He tried a little Molpoke earlier, but he built it a bit too close from the pig, so he lost like 15 food of value.
Yeah, it was getting shot at. That was definitely unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Tosh, taking the Toads. How are you feeling about Toads these days?
I think Skunks do a better job than Toads overall, but if you are expecting a lot of moles and chameleons, they are still pretty strong. They are strong against lizards too, so a bit like a counter pick choice. Oh, that's a very interesting choice for an expand.
Yeah, and he's even building a couple moles next to it.
I'm not convinced by it, but we'll see.
Oh, that must be where he wants to start his turret balloon siege nonsense. But let's see if Tosh gets a scout, but he doesn't. So Tosh just kind of thinks everything is all systems go here.
Yeah, that's pretty clever actually, if Scotch doesn't squid it. Let's see.
Oh man, so far it looks like Meek is getting away with it.
But after seeing an empty base, yes, well, something's up. Yes, there is a ninja expand at least. But is it too late already?
Okay, so Tosh sees it now. Oh no, he still doesn't. He's building his tier 2. I had to pause it for just a second to turn the game sound down. I'm at 218, but I think we should be pretty close.
Okay. I'm letting a few seconds.
All right, So now Tosh finally sees it. Meek still hasn't bought any defense or anything. He's actually I think that's kind of the bait. This is where I screw up when I try to do stuff like what Meek's doing is I'll try to build the ferrets and the turrets and stuff too early. You know, Meek's taking his time with it. He's building a lot of tier 1. He's making sure he can kind of support this, you know, expansion. I think that's really smart.
But Meek should have just mole pushed, in my opinion, because Tosh has snakes, so he's not going to be too afraid of MGs, even balloons, so he can get killed pretty fast by one snake pack.
Oh, taste of your own medicine over here coming out from Tosh, man. Taking the proxy mill.
Yeah.
Probably maybe just setting up for the base race, or I'm not so sure what else he'd want with that. You know, he doesn't have any other options if things go sour here to kind of, you know, pull a 180 and try to maybe race. So that's my guess.
Yeah. I'm surprised about the chameleons. They are not too good against what Meek is doing there.
Yeah,
because they are going to,
Maybe you just want some front line like to bust through, but maybe that's where the Toads could have came into play. You know, not gonna get as ganked by those balloons and can still get up on the structures and deal that crit damage.
Yeah. Ideally, you would want moles, but Tosh really doesn't like them.
He's like me. He's trying to not use the crazy powerful units. You know, like trying to be a rebel here. No moles.
But look at that. He has 3 pig on Ninja Expand, and this is really what you want to do against a turret play. Because I don't think Meek is going to take damage fast enough with his turrets to compensate the economically the Tosh took in secret.
Yeah, exactly. Meek's getting some damage in here. You know, he killed a couple warrens. He's starting to siege, loses the ferret there, but like you were saying, I mean, Tosh can just win the numbers game. You know, having so many extra farms, it's all right if you knock out a warren or get some pop shots on some squirrels every now and then. If I've just got way more money than you.
Yeah, he really has to commit because he's behind in economy, and the board is going to be extremely good against contain strategy. That's what he's trying to do right now.
Yeah, as you call, Meek runs in. He knows he's got to get some more damage done here. And these chameleons doing a good job on defense. Meek's starting to push through. These snakes going to go down. But is he actually going to straight up break Tosh is the question. It looks like the reinforcements from Tosh are coming out in a pretty timely manner. He should be able to push Meek back for now.
Yeah, at least he supplied blocks the board, but if he doesn't sell his structure and just small push, I don't think he can win from that.
So many farms on that additional base over there for Tosh, man. And since we're past that 5-minute mark, I mean, that's absolutely huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's taking too much time. Is this a classic mistake people can do when they do the ferrets push? It's that they see themselves doing damage with the ferrets, but they don't realize they can be ahead in army and behind in economy, and that they should just use the rest of their army to just commit harder. But Meek has no idea because he never scooted the ninja expand. He didn't have time to just leave his army and scoot.
So he knows that it exists from the mini-map, but he hasn't actually gone over there and seen how bad it is. And I think you're right. Like, I think the strategy does work, but at the end of the day, it's a game about economies. And if the opponent's economy is just way ahead of you, it almost doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Economy controls about everything.
But here's that boar. And Tosh is pushing back, you know. And the thing is here, like, even if Meek is taking decent engagements, you know, you take these trades over and over, and the other guy's got a way better economy. He's just gonna come out on top eventually.
Yeah.
And I think
it's
go ahead.
Yeah, I think it started well. It was a really clever plan from Meek to do that, but it was just too slow in his execution. And Tosh is an experienced player, so he knew how to respond with the ninja expand. And
yeah, that was really smart from Tosh too. I mean, you know, for one, the ninja expand is obviously safer, but it's also a game of misinformation. You know, Meek comes in, and at first glance, he's like, all right, I see Tosh's expand. It's got a farm or two, no big deal. But in reality, there's an extra 4 or 5 on the other side of the map. So
Yeah, it's very hard to scout in Ferret's games, both for the defender but for the attacker as well.
Yeah. How are the levels, chat? I didn't really do any proper sound testing before this. I apologize, but it sounds good to me. I think it should be pretty even. If you guys let me know, I'd appreciate it. But with that, man, let's keep going a little bit longer here. You ready for match number 2?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all letting me know. In the bottom right, we've got Protocam. And his opponent up top, Fleur de Lis.
Yeah, quite a French name.
Yeah, how do you actually say that?
Fleur de Lis.
I was close.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what these guys want to do. Pretty big map here, a little bit rough for Fleur. No super nearby expansions, but if Fleur can get out and about on the map just a little bit, you know, they can split off like maybe 4 mills, which is kind of nice. They've also got this like 2 o'clock mill that's pretty safe in general.
Yeah, I agree with the 2 o'clock mills, but for the main cluster of mills, it's going to be difficult for Fleur. But at least he has the high ground if he wants to attack into the center mill.
And we see more boars here. Protocam building a kind of conservatively placed mole there out in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Not too close, not too far, in the Goldilocks zone.
It's just to deny any attempt at expanding in the center, I think.
Yeah, not only that, but, you know, if you try to build your warrens up here on the high grounds, like Flora was about to, you know, that mole could shut that down and be really annoying. Oh, it's gonna get some hits on that farm.
Protocam get to it. He did get a shot, so it's actually pretty good for Protocam because not only did it pay for its mole that died, but it also delayed the 8th farm. So it's like 40 food that Fleur is going to have later because of the delayed 8th farm.
Yes, and he also actually got a couple hits off too. I think maybe just one.
Yeah,
but
he got 1 hit, and it was worth 20 food.
Mm-hmm. So, Protocam flexing a little bit here in the early game, but we're going to settle down into a proper mid-game, see where these guys want to take it. Looks like Protocam going to go ahead and take this 7 o'clock base and going to move around on the map with some lizards, but Fleur's got plenty to defend here.
Proto, I hope he's just making a little feint here, because he cannot really engage into Squirrel more if he doesn't have a strictly equal number of lizards. So he would better be in what greedy. Oh, this is so risky. Build an owl like that and the forward warrens.
Yeah.
If just push in, I think Proto is dead.
Yeah, and Fleur's even building the moles, which are those ideal units you really want to push in a situation like this and try to punish, you know, greedy players. But Fleur hasn't actually scouted the owl, and I think maybe that's what Proto's trying to do with these lizards, right? Like, keep Fleur's scouting denied so he doesn't quite get in there, but Fleur doesn't care, man. He's just moving across the map.
The push is coming. This is going to be devastating, I think. He's going to lose all the warren.
Alright, these lizards are kind of getting buffered by these moles, and Fleur had saved up some money. He's just going to build some moles on the front line, and here he comes diving in.
Yeah, Yeah, so lizards are good against poor moles, but you just cannot be greedy like that. You have to match the army numbers, otherwise you just instantly lose the mole push.
Yeah, this is almost like a really good example to show newer players, like, why don't you just build tier 3 right off the bat, you know?
Yeah.
But this is kind of what we expect from Protocam. He's a little bit of a wild player, you know, he likes to do crazy stuff like that, and ends up getting punished for it.
Yeah, he went for the concealed expand and the campfire too, and the forward warrens. That was so much greedy. So, oops, I misclicked. I think the replay again.
All right, I think let's get through like the first 5. We'll do the first 5 replays, and then we'll take a little break here and talk about the event coming up, and then finish out with some more. And Fleur in chat, this seems like an old replay. Yeah, man, I was trying to prioritize some of the older submissions I have. I've got some from like a couple months ago I'm trying to get to, so I did like a little bit of old versus new. in the submissions today. But let's get into match number 3 here. You ready, gentlemen?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, spawning to the right, we've got Dazitz and his opponent to the bottom, trying to wait.
TnT, basically, right?
TnTTV. TnTTV. Bam, I said it. I got it. Who is that? Is that a new player? Or is that somebody with a weird name?
I think in Discord is called Anki. I think that's his name.
Oh yeah, that does make sense actually, because matches up with the email I got, I'm pretty sure. So appreciate the submission. I think this is the first submission from this player. I could be wrong, but they sent me a bunch, and I grabbed this game, and we've got Dazit here. You know, an old player who still hops on the ladder from time to time, and interested to see what he's bringing out. He looks like he wants to be aggressive here. He's got both toads and moles and chameleons, so to me, Dazit, wants to really put the pressure on, and if he can get a turret set up to reinforce the front lines, great. If not, no big deal. And what do you think of his composition here?
It's reminiscent a bit of one of the previous patch where you would just build some kind of low tech death ball with moles, toads, chameleons, falcons, and then you just try to get a big engage in the open, and then you just wreck everything in the ground, and the falcons do the rest. I'm not sure about the MG, but it's a pretty straightforward deck, I think, for Dazit.
Yeah, maybe the MG is like trying to modernize that style, since they're a little bit stronger this patch, and Anki, just taking the squirrels here, which is a little bit risky to only take that one tier 1. We don't really count pigeons when we talk about things like that, but they do have the barbed wire, which actually is really good to throw out in a pinch and stop really aggressive strategies. But Dazit's got moles and chameleons that can strike through that barbed wire pretty efficiently. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Anki's getting that quick second base up and running. Meanwhile, Dazit getting their second base now, but wanted to get the cams going first.
I'm really a big believer in the barbed wire, because even if they send moles and chameleon at you, if you have your army there, you're really not going to care about using a bunch of 10-foot barbed wire. You are really going to appreciate the tanking value it provides, and the fact that you are going to safely shoot all the tanking unit with your squirrel behind the barbed wire. So
absolutely
reliable defense in this meta.
Yeah, 100%. And it scales really. I think what's neat about the barbed wire is there's so many various ways to go about it. Just putting like a piece or two in certain chokes can be really efficient. Or I've seen guys like Solomon, just go to town on the barbed wire and just build crazy amounts to back it up with like tier 3 and stuff.
You can spam them. They're so cheap. You can spam them.
Yeah, and it kind of just like stalemates the game while you get together whatever composition you want,
Oh yeah.
All right, Dazit's looking.
Hasn't been scooting at all, so he has no idea about the crazy economic thing he's facing.
He busts through that barbed wire. He still takes a lot of damage, but Anki here is being pretty greedy. They got tier 2 units on the way. They got that tier 3 on the way, and
he's going to pay off.
Doesn't have a whole lot to defend this, so Dazit comes in, gets a lot of damage done, but not quite the finishing punch there. He's got to go home for now.
I think it was pretty good for Trinity. He managed to keep his economic lead. I think he's still in the lead because those farmers are going to follow soon.
Yeah, that is a really good point. You're not as worried about those farms because once the 5-minute mark comes anyways, most of them are going to be gone. And at the end of the day, Trinity here kept the Badger. It is blocked, which is unfortunate.
It did some damage, yes, but
does finally save up the money though. A lot of times players prefer to sell off a tier 1 Warren just to get that going. Maybe they didn't think about that. Maybe they just wanted to be safe and have those additional tier 1 for the follow-up attack, but really hammering down on this barbed wire now and just crossing their fingers and waiting for that badger.
Yeah, the badger is going to be good against chameleons, but I think both players are not scouting as much as they should be. They're not really checking the economy or what their opponent is doing in general, but he's going to come with his chameleon push again. But I think he has enough barbed wire.
Yeah, and if Dazit was scouting a little more diligently, saw the badger, probably could have teched into some falcons or something like that, and really lost a lot of squirrels, like busting up through that barbed wire there, and Anki's gonna hold this off no problem.
Oof. The badger is there now.
Here comes the badger. Let's see if Anki's got some decent micro control on this badger. Gonna move it up front, take a little bit of damage, bring it back. Really, you just want to juggle being close enough to keep the rev going, but not being so far in where you just get, dumped on with it.
Once he's revved on the warren, it's pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think Anki's just gonna bust through there. Dad's got to tap out.
Yeah, that was a cool display of barbed wire. You can get away with early T3 if you have enough barbed wire, even against one, I think.
Here we go. Here's a spicy match for us coming into game number 4. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. On the right-hand side, we've got Mr. Ziggy and his opponent to the left, Araloo. Both players have the fox here. Ziggy's got the mines. This could be a really cool game.
Yeah, those are very surprising decks. I never see Araloo runs decks like that. But I think Ziggy is going to have a lot of trouble against lizard swords because he only has lizards.
Yeah, and that's kind of the beauty of people submitting just like ladder matches and stuff. You kind of never know what you're going up against. Players, especially in like tournament season, they're probably experimenting a lot. You've got your matches where you're like, okay, let me try, let me practice my tried and true stuff, and then let me also test out with various different things. And Araloo here.
Oh, he got the cancer. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a shame for Ziggy, especially because he built the Warrens too to help for that. But a lot of times that with that mole rush, you're almost always gonna force a cancel, right?
Yeah. But he had the mines though. He could have built the mines if he kind of expected the mole. He could have built the mines in the mole's path right at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Alright, Ziggy wants to return the favor with some lizards here, but being careful knows, even losing a few units at this phase of the game, especially when your opponent's got moles, things can spiral out of control really, really fast.
Yeah.
And this cabin in the way, yeah, Araloo's just going to go ahead and deal with this now. Ooh, loses a lizard.
He's going too early. It's too early. He lost the lizards.
And I love that early game cabin. The campfire, just that free extra farm. Well, not free, but you don't have to pay for a gristmill. And comes in, scouts, sees Ziggy still building up on the lizards. Not sure if he knows about the mines yet.
I don't think he saw them, but I could be wrong. I didn't pay enough attention. I wonder if Araloo is going to go to. Oh yeah, definitely going to. This could be really difficult for Ziggy.
Runs in, hits a mine, but still has so many lizards here. Takes some okay trades, I guess. Yeah, pretty even. And yeah, this is like your worst nightmare when you take that risk of just having lizards in the tier 1 slot, when your opponent's got the toads.
Yeah.
But we see guys like you, we've seen guys like Mishi, like Bob and Weave around it. I've even done it as well in my games. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it can be done.
Oh yeah. It's possible, but it's a very difficult battle. Very, very difficult. I will be surprised if he managed to do it against Araloo. Chameleons are really good against lizards and also toads in the very early game, I guess. So maybe you can work with the chameleons. Oh, okay.
Oh, here comes the turret rush. I love it.
This is a little bit of bullying.
Yeah,
Jet style.
Araloo is going for the chokehold here, man. And once these turrets get up, this is so difficult for Ziggy now.
Yeah.
He's even got the economy behind this. He's not super all in. Runs over the side. Nice mine placement there from Ziggy. Gonna bat Araloo away for now.
Yeah, MG Toads is very scary to push against when you are on Blizzards and Chameleons. But I don't think the contain is really at the end of the world, because he does have room for more economy, but his deck is not so good against MG though.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that is true. This would be a lot worse if this contains, you know, canceled amount of additional future expansions. But he's got a couple in his backyard, so he's okay for there. Araloo just kind of trying to bait the fight, trying to get Ziggy to come fight him in his turrets. But at the same time, if Ziggy doesn't respect his little harassments, then he's going to end up picking off pigs. So just trying to stay really active here as Araloo, which is very nice.
But the pigs are going to follow in a few seconds anyway.
Ooh, goes all in with the toads there.
Oh, I'm surprised. Not sure if that was such a great idea.
Yeah, he got a lot of lizards, and the sacrifice of the toads also paved the way to pick off that pig. But as you were commenting on in that second game, that was actually one of those first farms.
That was pretty slick, the Falcon abusing high ground vision to poke the MG. But yeah, other than that, Falcons are not so good against lizards.
Yeah, that's a great point. If Araloo's not on top of keeping this high ground vision, that Falcon just got free reign on the turrets, but comes in and punishes, kills that Falcon off. But Ziggy's starting to deal with this here.
Nice save on the cam. I don't know, Araloo is still ahead in economy. He still has the toads, so.
Yeah, the only thing Ziggy's really got going for him is this tier 2, but, you know, it takes a while to get both of those units up and running from each of those warrens. He's slowly kind of getting there. Araloo does have that economic lead, but he's not miles ahead. Well, you do have to remember the campfire, though, so that actually is pretty big. But Araloo hasn't, like, teched into the next step just yet. You know, no Falcons, no Foxes. He's really just trying to keep the pressure on here. But
oh yeah, I don't think we will see him go to Fox. There is no need against Ziggy's deck.
Yeah, I don't see any real need for it. But as you mentioned earlier, you know, I think the problem with this is the fact that this contain really doesn't do a lot against Ziggy, because he still has access to economy behind him. And look at this Falcon play again.
That's pretty slick, because Araloo ends up going to be the one who is annoyed into attacking.
Oh, those toads can't hit air! There we go, gets the Falcon.
No. So close. Oh, he does get the MG. Wow.
And it's a pretty action-packed match here. Ziggy gonna go ahead and get rid of those Falcons now. Try to keep the economy going and just rely on Chameleon Lizard.
Yeah. This was some pretty good trade and poke with the Falcon, but I don't think he has the economy to last much longer against what Araloo is doing. Is he going to go for a base race, maybe?
Yeah, and again, the big thing is on these toads, how well connections they get. A couple of them going off on that tier 1 warren there. He's just gonna back up, trade a toad for a warren. Not a bad deal. Building up more and more toads.
He doesn't really have a lot of choice. He has to hide behind some structure, because there is no way he can engage into toads.
Damn, those connections were absolutely brutal. Poor Ziggy here with Lizard and Cam, both units that are kind of weak against toads in a super effective manner. And taps out. Really fun game, though. I thought maybe for a minute there Ziggy was gonna come out on top.
Yeah. Maybe if you had more farms, but it was a very difficult battle with the deck matchup anyway. So I think he did okay considering that.
All right, let's get into game number 5 here. And then after that, we'll take a little break from casting and talk about your new event coming up. So
Yeah.
let's hop into this. 3, 2, 1, go. This one takes a minute to get into.
Yeah, me too.
I noticed that earlier when I was double checking everything. I think we know what that means. In the bottom, we've got Stoker.
Oh, wow. Look at that map.
Over on the right, we've got Premium Bow. Up top, we've got Mr. Ziggy. And to the left, James. Alright, this is an enormous free-for-all map.
Yeah. My eyes are tired just looking at the mini-map. It's going to be difficult.
There's too many things. Dude, I saw you playing Fall Guys earlier, man. I love that game. Have you managed to win one yet?
No, never. I played a bunch with my friends. One of my friends managed to win a couple, but I always kind of fail at finals. So difficult.
Yeah, I've won once. I got one win under my belt, so I'm a pumper now in Fall Guys.
You're a battle royale professional.
But it is a really fun game, man. I've got to the end stage a few times, and I think if they keep like updating the content, it'll stay pretty fresh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope they do bring more mini games.
Yeah.
Especially reminiscent of Takeshi's Castle. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Casey's trying to talk me into playing Among Us too. Have you played that one yet?
No, but I've heard of it. I hear it's pretty popular on Twitch, and it's social deception games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Clue kind of thing, but like an indie game, you know, where you got to figure out who's the betrayer. I haven't played it yet. I might play it a little later, but in this game here, in Tooth and Tail, we've got Ziggy with some chameleons early on, a couple of quick bases.
So, I think they just all took random decks because the decks makes absolutely no sense except for Stalkers. So. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had an agreement of going random this deck or this game.
I could definitely see that. And James getting started alright. Premium Bow. Where's Premium Bow at? Look at this wolf. Look at this 10 farm wolf, man. This is what I love to see. This is Tooth and Tail.
So bored. Yeah. Maybe he has a secret agreement with Stalker to not get attacked or something, because I think the 6th girl could just walk into premium base and just win the game.
Hey, what's up, Mishi chat? Good to see everybody. Yeah, we were talking about Fall Guys and Among Us a minute ago. If you were wondering. All right, I'm watching Premium Bow. Here he comes. Here it is, man. The 10 farm Wolf Fox.
Yeah.
Let's
Wolf
do it.
Fox is so fun. So unusual.
Dude, it is really fun, man. I've made it work in a couple serious matches, but I think the problem with it from a competitive perspective is just trying to get out the double tier 3. You know, it's almost like a win more strategy, right? Like if you can get out tier 3, you probably could have won the game with anything at that point.
Yeah, it's for bragging rights.
Yeah. Ziggy just spamming down chameleons though and gonna backstab James pretty well. Meanwhile, James has got the turret artillery sieging down at his opponent Stoker, who's trying to get up to some owls. So everybody here just having a wonderful time doing crazy nonsense. Ziggy though, really starting to be annoying to James.
Yeah, it's pretty nice that he didn't go for the turtle and build a lot of farm meta from FFA. And chose to put a big attack on one base instead. So pretty nice for the viewer, not so nice for James.
What does James get into? He's getting into a boar. Now, thankfully for James, he did manage to get that second base fully saturated at the very least. So he's still like in this game, but I'm kind of liking Ziggy's spot. You know, I like Premium Bow's spot just for meme purposes, like Wolf Fox, let's go, 100%. But Ziggy's got that second base. Well, you know, As I say that, Premium Bow's economy is really through the roof. Oh my god, Ziggy's commander went down. Premium Bow's getting the reveal on these chameleons.
Oh.
The
Are they going to be shot one by one?
The hunter is become the hunted here. That is the worst feeling, man.
Yeah. Usually cams kill the fox, not the other way around.
And Stoker's got some owls, which can get value over time, but not really against what James has got here. You know, this wall of turrets and this artillery cannon, you know, that's just not enough mice to really pierce through there.
Yeah, exactly. You can defend without losing anything. And Premium Bow's fox is not going to do anything against the owls from Soccer, so I'm not really sure how he's going to win from there.
It's a hard game for a fox, definitely. Lots of chameleons, lots of defense, lots of owls. And James has got his boar, but again, man, Ziggy is out for blood. He's thinking about coming in on James's base. But no, he's going somewhere else.
Gone. He's coming or not? Where is he going? Where is he going?
He
wants to join the fight.
Yeah, he wanted to join fair and square there, but oh no, he's gonna lose his commander again! Premium Bow, get those chameleons! No. Oh my god. Premium Bow. Sign my mouse pad, dude. Look at this. Oh, he gets him back. That is some big brain plays there from Premium. And James actually busts through down here in the south with the boar. Getting a lot done on the main base.
It's funny because he has nothing to shoot the owls, but he just ignores them.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can just ignore these balloons, you know. Stoker's making his last stand here. And might be hanging out for the time being. Meanwhile, this chameleon army of Mr. Ziggy is still trying to get it done, but, you know, Premium Bow with this steroid fox, you know, you knock out that commander, you reveal the cams.
The chameleons are scared now. They're scared of the fox.
Oh, James, like, literally doesn't have any attack air units in his entire deck here. Besides the turrets, I guess, so. A little bit of a frustrating, you know, final push through here for James, but he's trying to get it done.
I wonder if Premium can win if, like, Stoker loses to James. It would be very hilarious to see a wolf fox army beat.
Yeah, he's just, I didn't even realize it till now. He's just literally building nothing but wolf fox here. Like, 6 foxes on the way. 3 wolves. Oh, but Ziggy's just gonna bust in here, knock out this mill. That is pretty huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a very good trade from Ziggy.
I like how he actually goes for the back tier 3 warrants here as well. Try to be out of the range.
Oh yeah.
It actually cleans those up, so some big wins there for Ziggy. But again, man, these foxes kill the commander, kill the chameleons. Dude. Yeah, definitely. I can see the AFK there, beep-boop. Bad time to answer the door or whatever. Alright. Alright, what's the general prediction from here? Who do you think's got this?
I think Ziggy is going to win. Yeah. It's pretty hard to call actually, because it's very tense between James and Stoker. And yeah, so since they are weakening each other, I think the winner is going to be the Premium or Ziggy, but I just can't see. Oh, he does have moles. Oh yeah. So maybe Premium can win actually.
Yeah, he's got the toads and the moles that like burst down the structures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think Premium is going to win because the moles are just that good.
Yeah, even if James has a wall of turrets and artillery, I mean, you get enough moles together, you can probably get in there and break through. But yeah, the big problem here is that James and Stoker are in this big slap fight. So
Stoker is just a few HP away from being eliminated of the game.
So now,
and yeah, he's sent to the kitchen.
So now James is basically taken over this bottom quadrant of the map.
Yeah.
You know, all this real estate is now his. Ziggy's nice and spread out here, getting a whole bunch of farms together. And I don't know, man. I mean, James, well, the problem is he's only got boar ferret, right? Like, he's got all these defense, which is nice against the fox, but how does he actually go win the game? Like, the boar and ferret's just gonna get ravished.
No, he can't. Can't possibly win the game. He can win if they just starve out, I guess. But no, I just don't see James winning with his deck.
Oh my god, is he gonna walk right into those mines? Oh, he stops and gets the reveal, so that's pretty decent. But these foxes are just gonna make bacon out of these boars, dude. This isn't even gonna be close. These pigs are working overtime here thanks to this fox getting that additional food income, or wolf rather.
Yeah.
And
Premium could have issue with early fallow. He could have trouble getting farms to avoid starvation in the late game.
yeah, that is true, and he doesn't have any starvation farms yet, but he might soon if he can come down here and just take over all of James's territory. Dude, what do you do about... It doesn't even seem like the fox is a tier 3 unit anymore, you know, because he has so many of them. They're just running around.
Yeah, but there's so many mole coming in.
But these balloons are very frustrating here for P-Boop. I mean, he can use his moles to get through the turrets, but not the balloons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're correct. So Ziggy is in a very, very good spot.
Oof. It's like comical seeing this many foxes buffed up here.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh, he's gonna come in right before these balloons finish. Gonna use these moles to take them all out just in the nick of time.
You got all 3 of them.
And I don't know if these cams are even gonna get the job done, to be honest. Like, having those moles to tank a little bit for you.
The fox are using axe. They're just cheating, right?
Oh my gosh, Premium Bow just devastating right now. He's just got.
But he's going to be attacked by James.
Oh yeah, here he comes. James is moving in, but so many mines here. Oof.
Well, I'm surprised by the path James took here. It's because of his new expand, I guess.
Yeah, James probably would have been better off just holding down the fort for the time being. The Premium Bows smells blood in the water, man. He wants to come in here and try to finish off Ziggy.
Yeah, but you cannot pass through the balloon. Ziggy is going to survive. He can pretty much hunker down to his last expand.
Well, he's basically just trying to use these back alley routes as best he can, but the amount of moles that are here with the foxes is slowly starting to fade, and the wolf is gone now too. Oh, he's got some more coming. Oh, and the reinforcements are just getting annihilated by the balloon wall as well.
Yeah.
But I think he's just done too much damage regardless at this point. Look at all the pigeons from James. What are you doing, James? 30 pigeons.
Oh, the Premium is starving. Premium is starving.
Uh-oh.
He has to do something.
He's got some food. He can take over this mill. He just knocked out.
Right. He's going to take him.
Oh, but he can't actually move over that way. Oh my God! As the commander goes down to balloons.
Oh, he's dead. Is he going to die of starvation?
Oh, Ziggy.
He never took them in. Is there a free campfire?
Oh, he can't, these are all fellowed out. He can't take those. He's got 8 seconds.
He needs to take James' campfire.
Oh, he's gonna barely make it over to this mill in time. 3 seconds to spare. And I think Ziggy just sold off a couple balloons, which is kind of a shame because if those balloons just denied Premium Bow's commander from getting over there again, you know, that would have been it for him. But he should just barely make it. It's going to be very close. He burrows in. He comes over, and he just barely gets that farm down in time. Dude, like, a split second away from starving there.
I really thought he was going to starve. I didn't have the starving timer on because I'm probably on the because of the French version of the game.
Right. Dude, it was like less than a second. It was so close.
Yeah.
And James just kind of chilling with his 40 pigeons. Why?
Yeah, but he has taken all of his farms, so... Or I guess he can still postpone starvation with the meal from Stalker. So...
Dude, that is so many pigeons. And
I
he's
think,
building more, man. Is he gonna get to 99? At least 69. So he can say nice. Come on, James. Don't stop at 66, dude. What is wrong with you? Alright, what just happened?
Yeah.
Oh, this base went down. Okay.
Pigeon Rush would be proud of James.
Where's Pigeon Rush in the chat?
I wonder what Premium is saving his food for. Maybe just moles?
Yeah, is he just gonna build 1,300 food worth of moles? Like, this is where the game's gonna get weird, because, like, everybody has, like, one of the rock, paper, scissors things to deal with an opponent, you know? And we're just kind of stuck here. Like, nobody's got air anymore. Like, only Ziggy has units that can actually shoot up.
Yeah, but Ziggy is pretty much NPC at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place because the balloons are keeping him alive.
Oh, the mole invasion has been scooted by James. Yeah.
Dude, look at all those pigeons. I'm not sure what I think about that. I'm very angry that he's 6 pigeons shy of a solid 69. That kind of triggers me, I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna build 63 pigeons, you might as well. But yeah, Ziggy's stuck because it's like the balloons are keeping him alive, but at the same time...
Ziggy is preventing Premium and James from attacking each other because neither of them can attack the balloon. So it's pretty much hilarious.
Oh yeah, that is. It looks like you can get through there. Oh, but he did finally get this artillery cannon up.
Oh, is he going to have range on the mid with the artillery? If he can have range, he might have won the game.
Oh man, the pigeons. There's so many of them that when they spread out, they're kind of giving that additional range to the artillery, I think.
Yeah, James knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's calculated. Oh my god.
I really want to see if that archer is going to have range on the mid.
Yeah, if he gives them the extra vision. I mean, it was just shooting at that pig, so it is very, very close.
Not close enough yet.
Oh no, it is the pigeon range, man.
Oh, it has range.
Yeah, because the pigeons.
James is going to win. James is definitely going to win.
Oh my god, there's no way he intended that, but that is so funny. Build so many pigeons to give my artillery cannons additional range. What even is what is this game?
Premium needs to build a ton of mods and just snipe the mid to postpone starvation from Ziggy.
Like, he's got plenty of money, but James can just sit here and bob and weave like this.
Oh yeah.
Over and over. Lose a couple pigeons every time, sure. But at the same time, James can't really afford to do that forever. He doesn't have an economy anymore, you know, so... Losing these pigeons can matter. And a fox goes down there. This is like one of the weirdest things I've seen in Tooth and Tail.
This is a great meme match. This is so great.
Oh, so
I would
close.
love to see Ziggy win actually. Ziggy can win.
Yeah.
No, he cannot win if James doesn't keep Premium first. Oh no.
Yeah, now this is getting rough for James. He's starting to starve. Okay, he does have some farms back here. So.
Yeah, he has the Stalker farms too.
Yeah,
the
he
farm
can.
from Stockholm.
And I think he's intentionally not building a whole bunch. This is definitely a long stalemating game here, you know, as we approach the 20-minute mark. But these artillery cannon are really starting to be a pain for Premium Bow here.
Oh,
Losing some foxes.
A couple of foxes.
I like how Ziggy's just watching this debauchery. He's just a witness to this pure revelry and vulgarity that we see here. But this is starting to become a problem for Premium Bow. He's worked through most of that big bank. He's lost a lot of foxes in these last couple harassments.
Yeah. I think Premium might have wanted to just beat a lot of more and kill Ziggy. Because just taking the mid over and again ended up costing him a lot of fox.
Dude, this fox is freaking out, man.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. Alright, tell us what to do, Captain, hurry! Alright, Premium Bow sold off a lot of that real estate. He's only down to a single fox, which is wildly unacceptable. But he did get some money back in the bank here. Picking off those pigeons. Ooh, gotta be careful.
Oh yeah.
Alright, this is one of the weirdest games I've seen, and that's saying a lot. I think James is trying to defend himself in the chat, but unfortunately, Premium Bow's got a sword, so he's like, no, James, this is my safe space. And poor Ziggy, man, he's just got to watch.
I wonder if Ziggy is going to try to harass James' farm with his chameleon or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him get in there somehow, but at the same time, he's just kind of holding out, man. Running down the clock.
James has had enough. He's going through the neutral territory to end the game.
Alright, James has decided he's wiggled Premium Bow down enough. He's moving in. The one badger with the 34 pigeons here. With the artillery support from the south. Desperation moles being made by Premium Bow, but is it going to be enough? Can he kill this thing? Keep in mind, only 9 pigeons can heal at a time. But this boar is basically always going to have 9 pigeons on it.
Yeah. There's 50 other pigeons were just there for the vision.
Oh, I kind of missed out what happened to Ziggy there. Did he just kind of tap out?
Oh, what?
Yeah, did he starve? Yeah. He's got 69 food left, which is nice. Oh, the boar! So close, Premium Bow! Oh no, his fox is dead! Run away with the wolves!
Oh, the wolf already goes.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, but going to be destroyed. James has one.
I like the double buffed wolves running away together here.
Abandoned the sheep.
I mean, Premium Bow's got some money. Maybe he can build some moles. No, he taps out. Oh no, he starves out probably. Yeah, there you go. And James takes...
Yeah, not sure what happened to Ziggy. Maybe he just decided that after 20 minutes he had better things to do.
Yeah, that was really cool. Really cool match. Thanks for the submissions there. All right, guys, we're halfway through the casting, so I want to take a little bit of break from that here and go ahead and talk about the next event coming up from the gentlemen. We've got the Magnificent 21 here, and this is the 7th edition of the Gentleman 21 series tournaments, and this looks pretty cool. If I can give my little nutshell understanding, we're basically going to split up teams into 5 different factions, which are all themed based on the tier 3. It's kind of neat. Whatever tier 3 faction you're in, I think you've got to play with that tier 3 unit in your matches.
Yeah.
And
you have to take it into your deck, and you cannot take other T3 into your deck, just your T3. But you are not. You don't have to necessarily play the T3. You can have it in your deck and not use it, but you do have to use Kasha in all of your deck if you are on the Kasha faction.
'Cause
if you are on the Kasha faction. 'Cause you are not. You don't have to necessarily play the T3. You can have it in your deck and not use it, but you do have to use Kasha in all of your deck if you are on the Kasha faction. 'Cause you are not. You don't have to necessarily play the T3. You can have it in your deck and not use it, but you do have to use Kasha in all of your deck if you are on the Kasha faction.
And yeah, I mean, take it away, man. This is why I brought you here, so we can hype this up a little bit. You can explain to everybody how it works, and maybe we'll have a nice VOD. New players when they come into the Discord can check out to under maybe as a fact, look for anything they don't understand in the rules. So yeah, let's hop right into it here.
Yeah. Like I said to you earlier, I didn't make any fancy slides like I used to for the previous stuff, for the previous 21 seasons. So it's just the rules and a bunch of picture to recap how the faction interact between each other. But beyond that, I'm just going to repeat what's it's in the rule, basically. The rules aren't too long, I think, for 21 something. And there's a lot of stuff you can just skip or not get into the details, like the level system, stuff like that. This is going to be handled by the organizers. We don't really have to care too much about how it's calculated. But,
right, like some of the back end, determining who's playing who. So, I mean, if we just like hop through it, we're starting this off on September 9th, so that is a few days away. We gotta sign up before that though. So guys, don't delay on the sign up here. You got a few more days to get in there. It's gonna be 4 weeks, and then plus a day for the finals. So pretty quick, just about a month, which is nice. I think that's one thing sometimes players are concerned about when they hop into events like this. It's like, all right, I'm committing to a really long time, but here it's not so bad.
And it's a team-based event. So once you are in a team and you win or you lose with your team, there is no final phase where it's just an individual bracket like it was for the 21 generals. So yeah, what is going to happen is like we are going to close the signups this Tuesday, so that me and Premium can have time to balance the team and calculate everyone levels with Dame and stuff, so we can come up with a balanced team in numbers and in skills.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's cool. There's been a lot of streamers lately in Tooth and Tail, which is awesome. Helping out with the TnT Championship 2020.2 stuff. Guys like Marmu and Kerpa, Nicolaccio, Snatch, Solomon, Tosh, of course, me. I mean, there's Jed Erickson. There's actually like so many streamers now for Tooth and Tail, which is really great. So. The more the better, in my opinion, because a lot of when it's kind of just down to like me or Jet or something, we don't end up getting to everything. We're busy people and can only stream so much. So it's actually great when we have so many various streamers that can get involved and help out. For one, casting is just a lot of fun. Some people enjoy it. That's my main thing with Tooth and Tail. I enjoy casting it, more than anything else, and. So it can be a lot of fun. It really helps out the events and stuff, and it takes some of the pressure off of additional streamers. When we get a whole bunch of people in there, so that's really cool. I also really like these replay style things. I mean, I think there's the argument sometimes, live matches are so hyped, but replays really make these kind of events flexible when you're looking at it from an organizer standpoint or a streamer standpoint. It allows, we've got players from all over the world. We're kind of split mainly between like Europe and USA and players, but we've got players in Asia and places like that too. So it really helps, because it's super late at night for you right now. But you're nice enough to come in and do this with me, which I appreciate. So it helps people figure out, okay, it's 10 p.m. here for me, and it's 3 p.m. for you, so that's a good time. Let's get together and play. And then the factions, one thing I think is neat is, everybody's kind of got their favorite Tier 3, but you might not end up on your favorite Tier 3's team here, because you guys have got to shuffle people around for balance sakes, right? So maybe is the idea, I would sign up and I would say, hey, I want to be part of the Kasha agency, and you guys would go through your spreadsheets and stuff and be like, well, we actually kind of need you on Boar Town for balance. Is that?
Yeah,
is that...
exactly. Yeah, this could happen. We are going to try to meet everyone's preference, but it's very likely that we will have to relocate players on other team just so it ends up being balanced.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And we're kind of a tight-knit group here, and I definitely think guys like you and Premium can look at players and be able to balance them, especially when we have some data, like of course ladder points and KML and tournament results and that sort of thing. Okay, so basically, guys, you signed up for it. You're gonna join one of the factions. You're gonna vote for which faction you want to be a part of. Maybe you'll end up on that one. Maybe you won't. And then you got to take that tier 3 that represents your faction. Now, question from me here: if I'm on the Wolf team, can I still bring owls into my deck?
No, you cannot. So you are stuck with only one tier 3.
Okay, so no double, triple tier 3 shenanigans here. You just got to use that tier 3 you're representing. And let's go to the main season format here. So you're going to play a few series a week. And the big thing is the sworn enemies. Maybe we should skip ahead to that, like go down to the pinnacle here. Because I think this is a big part of it, if you want to talk a little about this.
Yeah, I can send you the picture. Like this and this one. So each faction has 2 other factions they want to attack, and they are themselves going to be targeted by the other 2 factions. And when they win on attack against those factions that they want to target, they will increase their own score. So yeah.
So basically, you win by making your opponent factions gain exhaustion. Is it exhaustion points?
Yeah. When you lose on defense, like every player is going to be able to attack one other player from the 2 enemy faction of your faction. So there will be a lot of match, and yourself as a player, you can be attacked by 0, 1 or 2 players from opposite faction. There is a limit of you cannot ever be attacked twice by the same faction on the same week. So at most you are going to be attacked twice. So and when you are attacked, if you lose, your faction gain exhaustion. So exhaustion is not going to penalize your faction directly, but it's going to be integrated on the score of 2 other factions, the 2 factions that are targeting you. So like say, if I'm a Fox player and I win against a Badger player that I attacked, the Badger faction is going to gain exhaustion, and it will be good for the scores of the Wolf faction and the Fox faction.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, because the Wolf is also an enemy of the Badger. So it's not really that you're accumulating points. You want to keep your exhaustion level low, and you want your opponents to have a high exhaustion level here. And then one thing that I thought was neat as well was the auto attack versus precise. Now so if the Fox player attacks a Boar team, then that opponent is just going to be automatically determined. However, if they attack the Badger, since that's a precise attack, they actually get to call out an individual Badger player and say, I want to fight them. And then there's this whole level system that determines how much exhaustion gets into it as well. So, if you're a guy like Araloo, you're going to have a high level. And then if, let's say I beat Araloo, right? And my level is lower than Araloo, so I'm going to give his team a ton of exhaustion points there. Whereas if Araloo beats me, I'm going to get a handicap in the match. I'll be up 1 or 2 games in the series, and if he ends up inevitably beating me, then sure, we're going to lose exhaustion points, but it's not going to be a ton. Is that kind of how it works?
More or less. There are 2 stats, actually, level and weight. The weight is what determines exhaustion. The stronger you are the higher your starting level is, the higher your weight is going to be. But this stat is not going to change except when you lose. Every time you lose, your weight is going to be halved. So the more someone loses, the less valuable it will be to win against them for generating exhaustion. So that's the weight.
And the defense can the defense choose, like, I don't think there's ever a situation where the defending team chooses who they're sending out, right? It's either automatically determined or the attacker chooses.
Exactly.
That way you can't have the the sacrificial lamb, you know? We're just gonna throw a premium bow out there. His exhaustion weight is gone down so much, so it doesn't matter if he loses. You know,
exactly.
That kind of thing.
If premium has lost a lot of games and if he has lost 4 times and his next games he will only have like 1/16 of his initial weight, so he's not going to generate a lot of exhaustion by losing on defense. Weight and exhaustion are only on defense. Like if the attacker loses, he doesn't gain exhaustion for his team.
Right.
And the second stat is the level. Level can evolve during the seasons depending on who you lose or win against, a bit like ladder points basically. If I win against players that are higher ranked than me, I'm going to gain a lot of levels, and the levels is used to decide if you are going to have a handicap or not when playing against a stronger or weaker opponent. So the games are all best of 5, but sometimes you may get a 1-0 or a 2-0 lead if you have an inferior level compared to your opponent.
Yeah, so we kind of look at the two players' levels, and then that determines if you get that handicap match modifier or not. And then you've also got your exhaustion weight, which starts off based on your initial level, and then every time you lose, it goes down. It gets halved, and the exhaustion and then your weight is essentially what determines how many points your team gains if you lose, and gaining points is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. And I think I like this a lot. This is definitely a cool one. I think the one thing we haven't really touched on yet is the 4 free for all.
Oh
the leader and the weekly unit ban.
Yeah, there are going to be 2 units banned each week, and they are going to be banned for everyone in all match of the week. And the unit bans are decided by 4 FFA, and the FFA are going to be played by the faction quote-unquote leaders. So the leaders are just whoever has the most weight at inside a faction at any given moment. So each faction is going to send a champion to represent them in the FFA, and if you win one of the free-for-all, you get to ban one of the units. So of course there is only 4 players in a 4 free-for-all, but there are 5 factions. So what we are going to do is that one of the 5 leaders is going to be excluded from the first free-for-all, and then from there on, the winner of the previous free-for-all is always going to be excluded from the next free-for-all. So it's never possible to win 2 free-for-all in a row.
Right.
So there is always going to be 2 factions that are going to decide on 2 units ban.
Makes perfect sense. And for some reason, so the faction leader is the heaviest player, but if they can't make it for some reason, the team can kind of vote and send somebody else in there. And those bans are just straight up for this. So this is gonna happen. This is gonna be like the kickoff for the week. You know, we're gonna have these 2 4 player free for alls, and then the bans are gonna be determined.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are going to stream right at the start of each week.
Very cool. And then we can see here again how the attacks work, who's kind of against who. So if I'm on the Kasha agency team, you know, my big enemies are the badger and the boar, and
Yeah.
I would win. So what do we do? What's the late game here? So we've played our 4 weeks. Everybody's racked up exhaustion points, and what happens next?
So you calculate the score based on the exhaustion. So if the badger and the boar have a lot of exhaustion, it's good for you because your score as a Kasha player is going to be very high. And then we are going to compare the score of all 5 factions, like in the little picture I sent you on Discord, the second one, I think, which is an example of scores. And the 4th and 5th faction are always going to be eliminated from the finals. And the 3rd place will have a chance to get on semi-finals, but only if it has a very close difference of points with the 2nd place. Only if the difference between 3rd place and 2nd place is smaller than the difference between 2nd place and 1st place.
I actually like that a lot because you're kind of predicting one or two things can happen. Either one team is just miles ahead of everybody else,
yeah,
you know, or the top 2 teams are really, really close and blow everybody else out of the water. So if I understand this right, if we have a situation where let's say the Badgers in the first spot, like we have here on this diagram, if they're way ahead of everybody else, then 2nd and 3rd places are both have to compete against each other to figure out who goes to the finals. Whereas if it's like, okay, 1st and 2nd place are really close to each other and they're, you know, they've got a large gap on 3rd, 4th, and 5th, then great, we just send 1st and 2nd place onto the finals. Is that the right?
That's exactly that. And if there is a semi-final, the 1st place is going to be granted a small advantage in the finals, like maybe a 1-0 lead or a winner bracket advantage or something small, but some advantage. But if it's just 1st against 2nd, it's going to be a straight up finals with no special advantage or anything.
And how are the finals? Let's say we figured out the 2 teams. Like, let's go with your example here. So it's got to be Badger versus Boar, right? In this final. So what happens next?
So there are a lot of things we haven't decided on yet. Like if people can change tier 3, maybe we are going to drop the tier 3 rule for the finals. Like if it's Fox against all, the whole team is going to have a big advantage, obviously. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe we will want to drop the mandatory tier 3 pick rule. But what is going to be? It's probably going to be just a team match where everyone play one of the opponents based on level and stuff, and you just give 1 point for your faction for each win. So that's probably what we're going to do.
So maybe like a round robin between the 2 teams. You guys haven't really worked out all those details quite yet. Is there any chance for like a spicy 2v2 in there or free-for-alls or anything like that?
I hadn't considered it, but maybe we can think about it now that you're checking about it. 2v2 would make a lot of sense actually. So maybe yes.
Dude, 2v2 could be cool. What about like, well, you don't really have individual. Well, I guess you do with your level, right? Like, what if it was a 2v2 with the top level and the lowest level on the teams? Yeah, I'm just spitballing, but that could be fun. Something like that.
Yeah.
Really cool, man.
And there is also a little pre-season event that we are going to stream Monday, and that's going to be the best of 2 league. It's just going to be a little friendly round robin test matches between 6 players of beginner or intermediate levels. And It's going to be used also to test some Tier 3 matchup because they will play with imposed Tier 3 picks for every match.
Very cool, man. Well, I think I understand it. It looks like a lot of fun. We've already got a bunch of people signed up, but guys, don't be shy. Sign up for this one. I think the tournament organizers nowadays, since we have a lot of newer players in the scene, which is really great. It's kind of we have like such a mixed bag of players in the Tooth and Tail scene. You know, you've got guys who are out there pumping. You know, they're working hard. They're grinding the ladder. You know, you got like top players that really try hard. You've got guys who come in and out, you know, who will hop on the ladder a few times a month or something to just play because they enjoy the game. But they're not going super crazy hard. And we've got new players, so we've got all these various skill levels, and I think it's really cool that you guys try to be inclusive, you know, with the levels and the weight. You know, we really, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is encourage as many people to sign up, because if you're not a top level player, you're like, oh well, why even bother? I'm just gonna get rocked by Airlu or Solomon or somebody like that. But participating in these events is a lot of fun, man. It's always great. It's a cool adrenaline rush, you know, being in a competitive match, and we want to let everybody we possibly can get that experience. So I always appreciate how hard you guys work to try to think of ways to get everybody in there.
Yeah. It's really a very inclusive tournament for skill purposes. You just need to play like between 1 or 3 match every week whenever you can with your opponents, and that's basically the only requirements. We already have, I think, 25 people signed up.
Nice.
So that's going to be at least teams of 5 people, but there is still time to sign up, so don't hesitate. If you are a beginner and you are going to have some free time to play Tooth and Tail in the next month, you are really welcome to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Pyle? Good to see you in the chat, man. Yeah, guys, don't be shy. Sign up for this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be super long. If you don't understand every rule exactly, it's okay. You know, you can kind of show up and people will point you in the right direction and stuff like that. So don't worry about that too much. These gentlemen, these things are always complicated, man. But once you actually get it, like it makes a lot of sense and it's really cool. Awesome, man. Any final thoughts on this before we get back to some casting here?
No. No. I just hope it's going to be a fun tournament.
Oh, dude, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great. I should go ahead and, you know, I'm gonna sign up right now. Bam.
Nice.
I don't see why I can't play and cast here.
Delthius? The Fox section, maybe?
Yeah, all right. I'm looking on the thing. It says sign up here. Do I just type in sign up here? I sign up?
Yeah.
All right. I'm coming. Fox team, go.
Fox team, go. Okay.
All right.
You're in?
I'm in. I'm signed up, guys. So just go over to the sign up here channel and say something, and they'll take care of the rest. And cool. Let's get back to some casting, man. You're welcome. You want to hang out and cast some more games, or?
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's get into it, guys. So that's gonna start next Wednesday, right?
Yes. Sign-ups close Tuesday. The preseason best of 2 leagues is Monday, and Wednesday we are going to reveal the teams and start scheduling the free-for-all for week 1.
Right on. And guys, too, if you're casters, you know, we're looking for streamers for this event. The more the merrier. It's always fun. Again, don't be shy. You know, even if you never casted before, or you just started or something, just message Gent, or it's you and Premium Bo doing this one, or anybody else?
Yeah. It's me and Premium Bo, and there is going to be like 30 best of 5 per week, so we really have a room for a lot of caster. We really want that streaming manpower.
Yeah, it's really good for the scene in general. For one, it's always fun to get your games casted, you know. But for 2, it just really helps the scene, you know. Being active on Twitch is really big to show people we're in here, we're playing. So, all right, man, you ready for match number 6 here?
Yeah, match number 6, I'm ready.
let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Spawning in the top right, we've got Protocam. And his opponent to the left, Araloo. Now, both of these decks would be illegal in the Magnificent 21.
Yeah, exactly, because Araloo does not have any tier 3, and Protocam has 2.
And Araloo's back on the mines. Now, keep in mind, some of these replays are a little bit older. I've gotten a ton of submissions, so thanks, everybody. Please continue to submit. ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com. Is the best way. You can do it on Discord, but you run the risk of me forgetting that you sent it through Discord. But yeah, so I've got a lot backed up here, and I'm not sure if this is older, I guess was my point, because we see Araloo in mines, and has he been using mines lately?
Not really, but he did use them on ladder a while ago, like months ago.
I mean, this is after the patch where they can be revealed.
Yeah,
obviously.
oh yeah, it's the current patch. Yeah.
And here's what you were talking about in an earlier match today.
Yeah.
You know, trying to use these mines to fend off the moles.
Oh, it's okay, but he will have to cancel the 8.
Oh my God, Araloo.
Okay.
See that oh my
no,
God.
Oh, the second mine.
Oh my God, dude.
So clutch.
This is like a fine example.
Protocam is committing. Oh, this is so painful for Protocam.
This is like a fine example of just raw experience, you know. Araloo's just been in this position before, and he kind of knows exactly. He's like, my pig will just barely survive and build in time. And other more inexperienced players like myself, you know, we would have sold that pig in a heartbeat, like just not risk it. But Protocam's really committing.
Yeah, I don't think I would have sold that pig, and I don't think I would have sold that mole either on ladder if I was Protocam, because sometimes you just want to test it, like for science. You know, you're curious. You won't try it on a tourney, but if it's a color scar, you want to see what's happened. If the pig is really going to die or not, or stuff like that.
Hey, Angry Bunny in the chat asks how the reveal works. So for the longest time, there's no way to reveal invisible units in Tooth and Tail, and they finally decided to put it in once we were kind of in this really heavy mine meta, and chameleons as well, kind of dominating the scene. So basically what happens is we refer to everything as tiles. Like this Warren right here takes up 4 tiles, and your commander, if he stands still for a second, will reveal all the adjacent tiles, and it'll let you know if there's any invisible units there. Which sounds really good, but you know, a lot of times you're not standing still. You know, you're moving and grooving so much. You know, imagine if Protocam did have some mines out here where like some of these bones are near the water. You know, they most likely aren't going to be revealed by Araloo coming in for the scout. You know what I mean? Like you have to make that cohesive effort to get that reveal.
Yeah, if you don't know where the mine is, it's pretty long to just try to reveal every single square of the game. So the mine is already doing work.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I know it's there, and it gives you a way to deal with it. And Protocam's coming in with a big attack here. He's got some skunks. Let's see if this works out. A lot of times the chameleons can do pretty good against this, especially lizards. But only 1 cam on the field so far.
Yeah, but I think the early game lead was just very strong for Araloo.
Yeah, and Protocam actually didn't notice he only had the 1 skunk there, so damn, a really good hold there for Araloo. Protocam committing super hard on that mill, trying to take it down, doesn't quite get it, manages to pick off both of those skunks, and that early game lead you were talking about just compounding from here. Yeah, that's it, man. Protocam knows he's too far behind and he taps out.
Araloo really tested the limits of me tanking there. Took a little bit of risk. He could have been meal sniped, but it was just enough for him to keep his meal, I guess. And
all right, so it's gonna be it's Mishi versus Araloo? Kerpa's doing next? Is that what it is?
You mean on the replay or?
Yeah, for the
the semi-final.
yeah.
Yeah, after it's going to be Mishi against Arelu, yeah.
To see who has the honor to tee off against you on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be good, man. I'm excited. All right. Arelu versus Mishi, man, that's gonna be hype. And then the winner fighting Gent. Are we gonna have some old school Mishi versus Gentleman as if this is like 2018, or are we gonna have Arelu's been around for a long time now as well, so
yeah,
hard to put him in the new school camp anymore.
Yeah, it's like the generation of player right after me and Mishi. But successive waves of player, and Arelu was 2018, I think.
Oh, so, yeah, Arelu's 2019, okay. Yeah.
18.
Oh.
18.
Ooh.
He was there on the third season of the 21. So I think it's 2018. Like late 2018.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it rolling, guys. I think they're waiting for us to finish up here to start those matches. Yeah. So we should just like take our time, really drag it out, you know. Just make everybody wait.
Delay, Mocha is not going to be.
All right, we got a few more here tonight, guys. Let's get into match number 7.
Okay. I started match number 7. I'm waiting for you at.
Oh, yep. I'm sorry, I didn't give you a countdown, but I'm in. I'm at like 8 seconds, and in the bottom right, we've got Kipo, and the opponent in the top left, Lego Man. Kipo's a new name here. Is that an alias or maybe a newer player?
I have no idea. I've never seen that name before. Maybe Lego Man knows.
But they have Fox, so I'm happy already. And Lego Man, going for that triple tier 2. He's actually got this really versatile deck, you know. He's got the triple tier 2 and double tier 3, and really cutting the corners on the squirrels. Not really going to be super punished this game from Kippo, since they really only have the squirrel 2, but against somebody with a really heavy like tier 1 tier 2 style deck with things like, you know, lizards and moles, that can definitely be risky, you know.
That's exactly what I think. Yeah, it's doing a double tier 3 deck, or just doing a deck where you just take squirrels and you don't take either lizards or moles, are going to be good in the late game because you have more slots for the high tech units. But it's going to be very difficult for you not to be behind in economy, because you won't be able to do anything greedy against lizards or moles by fear of being punished.
Right. 8 farm double into an expansion here from Lego Man. Let's see what Kipo's up to. Actually sells off a tier 1, I think, and transitions into tier 2. Gonna get away with it though, because I think Lego Man's, well, yeah, they don't have moles. They actually match suit here. Sometimes it can be risky building tier 2 so early. But, you know, and when the opponent doesn't have moles, it's a little bit safer. And
it looks like Kipo wants to do a classic skunk push without the moles. So,
yeah, it's always a nice way to start the game off. I know it's a little bit awkward saying that, since we did just see Protocam that kind of backfire for him, but keep in mind Protocam was behind that game. He also really hard committed to the opponent's gristmill. Like, you can come out with this push and you can just kind of give him a shoulder check, you know. You don't have to hard commit if you don't want to.
Yeah, but he doesn't have an expand, so it's a bit difficult for him if his push is not going to work, and it's not going to work because the Lego Man did not put any farm. And he already has a snake.
Yeah, the snake's rough here as well. Some decent clouds going down. That snake getting a little bit low.
Pretty good response from Lego Man to just take to tier 2 and not be greedy by not putting any farm.
Yeah.
He knows. Yeah, he knows he only has to defend against this because Kipo doesn't have an expand on top of this.
And that is what is so frustrating against playing against snakes there, man. Kipo was doing really good with their micro, kind of bobbing and weaving, but got too many stacks of poison on that commander and ended up losing the commander and a skunk along with it, but kills the snake on the re-attack here. Almost gets the second one. Gotta be close. 5 HP on that skunk.
He's going for a T2 while being attacked. It's a bit risky.
Does finally get the poison down on that skunk, but ends up trading. But, you know, trading is good for Lego Man here. He just wants to buy some time, get up his own skunks, you know, keep the pressure off, and Snake should live this time around. Yeah, really good for Lego Man there. And
Yeah.
as you pointed out earlier, Lego Man's already got this expansion up and running, can throw down a farm or two, and you know, Kipo's starting to get to the point where they're a little bit all in. We're about at the 4-minute mark. There's no real follow-up to this besides just sending more and more waves.
If he wants to come back into the game without attacking, at some point he's going to have to expand like he does now, and it's going to break his tempo. Oh, okay, it's nice. That's a nice little trick. It's just pretending that he took his expand to trick Lego Man into one more farm.
Yeah, actually a couple more farms from Lego Man here, and Kipo's playing really well. This must be somebody using an alias, I think. You know, it's good micro, you know, a little bit of mind games and stuff like that. Doesn't seem like a new player. One of the skunks going down immediately, but Lego Man, with the double tier 2 here, might just be too much firepower. As Lego Man's micro is great, gets a couple of those units out of there barely alive, and takes a nice trade. And again, you know, Kipo needs more than a nice trade at this point. Kipo needs to basically get in there, delete the army, and get some real structural damage too, because they're just so far behind on economy now.
Yeah, it's too late now. Lego Man just defended too well, and there's no way he's going to win now. He has double tier 2, he has the farms advantage.
Yeah, and I think Kipo's just going to have to tap here. Nice try. It's always fun to see people really double down on aggression, but Lego Man with some solid defense here. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that was... I think not the last attack, but the attack before, that's where Kipo really had to get it done. And then that last attack, it was like, alright, you're probably going to lose, but maybe if you get some miracle chip from space engagements here, you know, you can make it happen. But now now Lego Man is just too far ahead, even going to deny this expansion here. So Lego Man kind of do whatever he wants to go ahead and make their opponent tap out from here. Let's see how he does this takedown.
He's playing it Haru style with the little spoon to slowly kill his opponents.
Yeah, the boa constrictor coming
very
in
safely and slowly.
And that's another skill too. That can be really hard. Yeah, that a lot of top players have. They really know when to pull the trigger, right? Like when I get ahead, I want to like build a fox or take an expansion where guys like you or this guy, when you get ahead, you just know, all right, let me slam down 4 tier 1 here and go in the game.
Yeah, but I think it's more comfortable for Lego Man to defend when he's on Skunk and Snake. Maybe if he had moles, it would have been much easier to just end the game with a mole push.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for game number 8.
Yeah, let's get into it. We got a few more here, guys, and then we're gonna go and do some hype. Airlu versus Mishi. Let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. Down in the bottom, we've got Trenchy. And their opponent up top, Pigeon Rush. Lots of ferrets this game.
This is the James deck from Free4, almost, like with...
oh, yeah, that is true. Artillery. Let's see if he gets up to 63 pigeons.
It's funny that they both took ferrets. It's not the most popular T2 picks.
No, but it is really fun, you know?
Yeah,
if
not weak either.
If I'm just playing to have a good time, I could definitely see grabbing some ferrets, and it definitely can work. I think the problem with ferrets is it's a little bit map dependent. You can get some rolls where, all right, you know, your opponent literally can't do anything if you get up like the ferret turret, and then you have other matches where, you know, it doesn't really matter. There's other ways to get around it. We'll see.
I think the ferret boar combination is pretty interesting. Most people would think they overlap because boar is very strong against structure like MG.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad of an idea because most people will do a T1 spam when they see ferret in the early game because it's the correct answer in the early game at least. and then you follow up with a ball to catch up to catch the T1 ball, and it can be very surprising and strong when done well.
Yeah, that's a really smart observation. And in this early game, we had Trenchy go for a quick double. Pigeon Rush scouted it, responded with their own double, and then Trenchy tried to pull a fast one on Pigeon Rush here by selling one of those off to get the economy up and running just slightly faster. So nice little dance here in the early game. But yeah, that is interesting. I love seeing people try to alley-oop their opponent like that. Like, show you one thing, so you respond with that answer. You counter them, and then they counter your counter.
Yeah, but it only works with people who know the game well, though.
Yeah.
Because if they just don't scout you or don't know how to react and you just don't react, you're just messing around for nothing.
And Trenchy's gonna defend up here and get to some economy. Trenchy's another new name. Premium Bo confirmed Kipo was Stoker on Discord.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't seen Trenchy around, and again, it's always hard to tell because you can easily just change your Steam nickname and you can make your name in Tooth and Tail, whatever.
Yeah. I think Trenchy is a newer player from the way he plays. He does some things that is very typical of newer player, that is to just turtle up, build defenses when you don't even know if the opponent is about to attack you or not.
Yeah.
So it's just considering an economic lead for nothing to Pigeon Rush.
Yeah, we always kind of compare it to Pigeon Rush is doing the exact right thing against this. It's like, hey,
yeah.
And Trenchy has a good line of thought, coming from like other RTS games and stuff. Like, hey, let me turtle up a little bit. That way, I'm safe to defend. But the problem with spending all that money on the defense is Pigeon Rush can say, great, you want to play a defensive game, so I can just put that extra money you're putting in defense, and I can put it in farms, and I can just eco up. This is actually a perfect example of, and Trenchy's doing this well, right? They're not floating a lot of money. They're building up some more farms. They're kind of thinking about the next step. But in general, defense can be rough in this game because although there are situations where throwing it down in a defensive manner is correct, a lot of times you use the defensive structures to put pressure on your opponent, but once you've grabbed some territory out on the map, really plant your flag there and say, all right, now I've got an artillery cannon here in the middle. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, or you use them defensively, but at the last moment, and just enough for to be safe to defend your economic lead. Jet advise the beginner to never play defenses when starting the game, and I think it's a good advice because it prevents them from getting this habit that is a bad habit because of the general economic rule of Tooth and Tail, that is that if you are building an army, like army value, defensive or offensive, you want it to be useful now. If no battle is going to happen, then you should have pigs instead.
Yeah, that is a really good point. If you build units, you want to try to figure out ways to use them in general. Like if you got a ferret or you got a fox, or even just a handful of lizards, you want to try to be active on the map. And Pigeon Rush here, man, going up to 3 badgers. We've seen him do this kind of thing before. Maybe trying to dunk a little bit. And Trenchy, just kind of building up here. They've got a boar, but again, just made that beginner mistake of investing a little too much on defense. Yeah. But overall, I still think they're playing well. They're getting that second base established, but again, just the lack of scouting is rough, and that's actually an issue for even intermediate players in some situations, in my opinion. If you look at like super top level games, I mean, you guys are just like constantly scouting each other.
Oh yeah, but constantly, but sometimes not enough. It's really sometimes all about scouting this game.
Well, really, any RTS game is all about scouting, but the thing with Tooth and Tail that makes it so interesting is, in a game like StarCraft, it costs you resources to scout, where in Tooth and Tail it doesn't. However, it costs you your capability to micro or macro, because when your commander is out scouting, you can't also be building, you can't also be controlling your troops. So it does cost you something in this game, but it doesn't cost you economy numbers, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it costs you attention and it's a precious resource you can tell because you cannot be everywhere at once. You cannot divide your unit or your commander. Yeah. So yeah, the game is basically one for Pigeon Rush since a long time ago. It was smart because when he saw all his defenses, it was a signal for him that he could safely be greedy on pigs, and the greed is paying off.
Yeah, I think Pigeon Rush played this very smartly. You know, identified my opponent is turtling up, building a lot of defenses, just went straight up to 3-base saturation, and got this big monster army with triple batter, you know, essentially overkill here.
Yeah.
But really cool game to see, you know, very educational at least for newer players. Like, this is why that kind of doesn't work, and hopefully me and Gentleman did a good job of explaining that to you guys. But this should be a nice, quick, easy win here for Pigeon.
Yeah, if there are newer players watching this, the bottom line is that it's not coming down to army composition or micro or anything. It's just that Pigeon Rush has a lot more economy than Trenchy, and he could afford to do that safely because Trenchy built a lot of defenses when it didn't necessarily need to.
All right, well, we're gonna finish off strong here. It's a shame I didn't bring an heirloom match to the very end, but I tried to do some higher level games here to end this off. So
yeah,
let's get into match number 9. Actually, looks like we're working right around 2 hours, so seems to be about the right amount of time here. So you ready to get into this one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, spawning in the bottom. About to face off against Heirloom in the semifinals of the Premier Division, we've got Mishi. And his opponent to the left, Heartseed. Now, Heartseed is one of these guys that really sticks to this weird kind of off-meta deck, but...
Oh, yeah. He runs that deck a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the style he uses, but a lot of times he makes it work, man. I mean, this is a difficult puzzle to...
Wait! I've seen that game. Oh yeah, I was spectating it. Okay, I know what's happening. So I know what's going to happen.
Where have you seen the? Did I accidentally cast this one again?
No, it's not you. I was just training with Mishi, and it was getting late, and Hatsid came by, and
oh, sick.
So I was watching them play for a bit.
Oh, that's awesome. So you were actually in this one spectating, huh?
Yeah, I was spectating it. And, it was I understand why they sent it to you. Actually, I think it's even me who just told them to send it to you because it was fun.
Nice. Well, here we go. So Heartseeds, this is kind of an interesting map for what he wants to do here. He's got this nice like T of bases coming out the side. It looks like he could shut out Mishi from attacking into his main without putting down like crazy amounts of barbed wire. But Mishi's just going to go for a very, very fast expand. This is something we don't see as often nowadays, the 8-farm single into a mill, because moles can punish this. But Heartseed doesn't have moles, and Mishi's going to get away with it.
But Lizards could punish too, but they had played several games before, and Mishi did run Squirrel Toads and MGs too in the previous games. So Heartseed knew that he was going to be a bit difficult to punish this expand with pure Lizards, because of the way Mishi played in previous games. Yeah, it's a difficult matchup for Hatsid because of the Toads.
Now this is a decent map for the Lizards here from Heartseed. There are a couple different ways for him to try to dive in there and get something done with them, but just for now, gonna put him out. He sees what Mishi's doing, and Heartseed actually gets this nice early eco lead.
Yeah.
Putting down a couple mills here.
That pocket expand, it is so hard to scoot. Pocket expand like that are very valuable just for the time it takes to be scooted by your opponent.
Oh, that is a pocket expand, isn't it?
Yeah.
You kind of can't tell just by looking at the map, but if you look at the mini-map there, yeah, Mishi's got to run all the way around to actually get in here. It looks like he can take this little chute over in the 9 o'clock. Well, no, he can't. That's all locked off.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight map actually, because there is only one path between the bases. I think Weaver controls the central mill on the high ground in front of Hudsid's base. He's going to control the game.
Alright, Mishi's not messing around. He's moving in. And I think he's scouted out alright. He's building a lot of farms. He's building some tier 2. He gets some decent trades at the Toads there. And starting to get some real damage done to Heartseed. The Ferret's coming out. And gonna get some decent poking from the back. Be able to fend this off. But Mishi just got so much damage there, man. A couple Warrens, a couple farms.
Squirrel Toads is stronger than Lizard Toads because the Lizards cannot just not engage into Toads if they want to prevent the poking from the Squirrel.
Right.
So Mishi did a lot of damage, but Heartseed was able to push him back eventually with the Root Rod from Lizards and Ferrets.
Alright, Mishi again, gonna be thorough, gonna come through, gonna scout, see how many farms his opponent's on, and you know, Mishi's gotta be pretty happy in this phase of the game. He took a favorable attack, he got some good damage done. Is he thinking about it? Yeah, he's just going up to the boar. And gonna try to push him for the win.
To admire the diligence in Mishi scouting, it's not easy to keep scouting the pocket expand. It takes him a lot of time, but he still has to do it if he wants to know what he should do. You really have to keep an eye on your opponent's economy. But you cannot do that in every scouting cycle because of how far away the expand is.
Yeah, Mishi's gonna come in here with the ferret balloon. Yeah. Heartseed really abusing the terrain here. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This falcon, it gets taken over, which normally would be a good response to this, but with the balloon here.
Yeah. And just like that, just because the map, he loses 300 food worth of value.
Even sells off that balloon to get that money back. I love it. And Heartseed, now the thing about Heartseed this game though, he hasn't been as diligent as Mishi with really getting in there and scouting. He doesn't know that the boar is on the way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. An unscouted boar is usually a dead sentence if you're still on tier 1. So it's going to be very, very difficult for Heartseed, despite the nice snipe on the expand.
Yeah, let's see if Heartseed can make it happen. He does have some balloons, but again, you know, you wouldn't build it. I think the real issue here is just the lack of scouting.
Yeah.
You know, because he's got the tools, right?
Yeah. He doesn't know what Mishi is doing, so he's just kind of expecting a push blindly. So he just built barbed wire, but that's not what Mishi is doing. Mishi was going for economy and technology.
Yeah, that's a really great play for Mishi too, to just take that second base and just go ahead and just saturate it up fully. Like he's kind of putting his cards on the table with the boar here, but he's got a solid follow-up. You know, he doesn't have to end the game.
Heartseed touching up wasn't that absurd of a read, because a lot of players will just try to kill you right there, right now when you kill one expand for free like that, because they are going to be way behind in economy, but still maybe ahead in army, so they will want to try to all in you, so that's why he built a lot of barbed wire in my opinion, but Mishi had a better response, had a better follow-up with the economy and depot.
Yeah. And the barbed wire did stop this eventual come out of the boar push, but you know, it's kind of just delaying the inevitable, and if Mishi really wanted to be cheeky, he could use these falcons high ground vision and just start torching down these warrens in the main.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, Heartseed's trying to get the response up. He's got a couple balloons now. He's working on his falcons, but again, you know, the problem is Heartseed's kind of contained himself with this strategy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why one could say it was a bit difficult for Heartseed to go for the pocket expand, like a double-edged sword. He goes for the pocket expand, so it's harder for Mishi to keep track of his economy. But at the same time, it does not secure early on the most essential meal. That is the one that Mishi is occupying with his army right now.
Yeah, exactly. He got that safer, harder to read base in the early game, but if Heartseed would have pushed out on the map, went for one of these expansions as a second, then he can always take that pocket later on. It's always a difficult decision to make, and it's easy to say which was right or which was wrong when we get hindsight, you know, and we can say, well, because this happened, you should have done that, but at the end of the day, you just got to make that quick decision and go for it.
Yeah.
All right, Heartseed trying to do something, but Mishi's got him like right out of range, you know? He's just hanging out.
At this point, I was hearing them on the vocal chat, and Heartseed was just daring Mishi to attack him.
Yeah, come on, bring it, man. Now, Heartseed does have some like anti-boar stuff going on now. He's got a nice flock of falcons. He's got a couple balloons, and yeah, Mishi's trying to use the water healing and the pigeons to work down this barbed wire, but not.
Mishi could just play time, but he's not going to do that. He's going to see if he can break Heartseed for curiosity.
Yeah, Mishi could just delay the game and win eventually. Heartseed's definitely locked in, but that's not very good practice now, is it, gentlemen? No, he wants to get in here and get some stuff done. Yeah, this is almost comical to watch here.
Yeah.
This board just
the barbed wire is so effective at stalling everything.
slowly working its way through.
10 food. 10 food.
As Primo says,
Like
2 wire.
10 food buying 10 seconds.
Oh my god. And throughout all that micro, Mishi floating a whole bunch of food, gonna come home and go up to just a crazy amount of squirrels here. Alright. So just more of a little bit of a dance. Michi trying to take his time. He really doesn't even need to anymore, though, because he's got such an economic lead. Like, he could just blast through this,
was just confused at this time by how fast the barbed wire regenerates health. Because it's a building inside its own territory, so it actually gets his health back pretty fast.
Yeah, that is true.
If you don't touch it.
Alright, finally Michi's just like, alright, look at this army. 46 squirrels coming in. And it's just gonna blast right on through what Heartseed's got here. A cool little game, and Heartseed gives Michi a little bit of a bloody nose with that ferret balloon strategy, so.
Yeah, that was so fun.
I'm sure he's happy about that. Alright guys, we got one more for you, and then we're going to kick it over to Kerpa to check out the semifinals of the Premier Division, Mishi versus Araloo. So, one more match here. Let's hop into it. Game number 10. Are you ready, gent?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, spawning on the right side, we've got Mochaccino. And his opponent in the bottom, James.
I'm really curious to see James play. I haven't seen him play in a while because he kind of went inactive after the last championship, but he's still a very strong player, so pretty curious to see what he's going to bring to this game.
Yeah, it's always fun seeing guys like that. I'm kind of in that category too, where I'm not super active all the time, but every now and then you get the itch, you hop on, you play some games. Tooth and Tail is just always really fun. You've got guys who are really pumping every day, really practicing as well. So it's cool to see them tee off. And hey, man, you never know. Sometimes the guys like James, get in here and perform really well. The thing about Tooth and Tail is it's not a very mechanic-heavy game. There are little nuances that if you're not super up to date with the meta, you might not be aware of. Like, for example, when Araloo didn't sell that pig, during the mole rush or something like that. But
Yeah.
overall, you know, once you got the game at like a higher level, you kind of got it. You can take a break and come back, and you still know the fundamentals fairly well.
Yeah. Yeah, even shaking off the rust in Tooth and Tail just means getting up to date with current meta knowledge.
Yep.
And Mochaccino got ahead because he was pretty familiar with how the moles work in the early game. And I wonder if James could have kept his fifth farm because the moles Ryan was pretty far ahead, it seemed. So I don't know. But he
What's
didn't take
the?
his
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What's the gent? What's the? How are you feeling about moles right now? Are you in the nerf moles camp? You think they're okay?
Nothing them is a bit difficult because if you touch their stats, they're going to be utter garbage. They're pretty. They're not that good in open fight actually, as long as they don't get on top of Warren. But the tempo advantage is pretty strong in the early game, and they get insane amount of value when they hit buildings. And I think at the very least we could have a rule that says that building pigs does not count as a structure, so they don't get crit by moles.
Right.
So it would at least remove that little pre-8 farm mini games that everyone has to play in competitive Tooth and Tail unless you get a really lucky spawn, or unless they didn't bring moles. And if you don't have a fast defensive structure like barbed wire, mines, or LNG, you just are going to be a little bit behind of the mole pock because you will have to cancel one farm most of the time.
Right. The only issue I see with moles, and maybe, by the way, we got Mochaccino with a fast board here, which is pretty cool. James did scout it out. And I've seen this in really high-level play as well. It just feels like, to me, let's say you scout the mole push coming, and keep in mind, I'm thinking about games, like imagine we're in a match, and I build a mill, and then I realize, oh, my opponent's getting aggressive. I don't put any farms on the mill, and then I just start building swirls to hold it down. I feel like the mole push is almost always guaranteed to take out a Warren or two. Like,
Yeah.
even if you respond correctly. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's an issue, or I'm not sure if that statement's even correct. But in my experience, what's up?
People have started to know how to deal with mole push earlier.
Yeah.
You need to not build forward warrens, and you need to, if you don't have moles of your own or the lizards, you need to just don't never get ahead of them in farm if they don't take. Like if they self farm, you have to self farm as well, and you should be able to defend. And now we are going to see something interesting. James was able to scoot the ball push, but he didn't respond with falcons. And tier 2 he responded with balloons. And in my opinion, the ball push is going to beat the balloon actually, even if the balloon are supposed to be good against board. In my experience, they usually tend to not defend against board because they can spam scroll or basket around, but maybe it's going to work out for James. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta really get those balloon hits onto the board, or else it's kind of wasted DPS. But James is buying some time here for the Fox, and Mocha actually hasn't seen it here. He sells off those balloons too.
Yeah, he's leaving a side of his base pretty open now. But he's maybe just expecting Mocha to not attack from there because he saw the balloon early on. I have to say that James' scouting on this game has been fantastic. He's scouting non-stop, and has a really good idea of what Mocha is doing.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting for Mocha. Like, he went for this 8 farm, or not really an 8 farm tier 3, but a 1 base tier 3, you know, and with the board nonetheless. But he didn't actually like commit to the push out. Instead he saturated up that second base and still continuing to macro up here. Got the third on the way. And like you said, James' scouting's been really good. But did Mocha ever see the Fox? He has now. So he knows the Fox is on the way. He's trying to build up to some snakes, which can get the job done if the terrain is awkward, you know, like if the Fox runs into some walls or some water or something like that, the snakes can catch up. And once you got that first hit of poison, you got the slow going on. That's all you need.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see the ball player not push right away when they get the ball, but at the same time, when your ball is scooted, it's usually easy for a top player to defend it. So
I wonder if he didn't move out because the balloons, you know? Maybe that was enough to deter him. Fox is out for James, though.
Okay.
Let's see.
Or just respected James in general to already have a transition to...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, maybe he was just trying to pull a fast one. He's like, alright, you saw it, so I know you know how to prepare. Oh, but Mocha's done. He's moving in. He's gonna get that one stack of poison on the Fox. But can't quite micro to get the other...
Oh, that's a great fight for James. What an awesome fight for James.
Yeah, keeping that Fox alive was absolutely huge. It got that extra DPS onto the board, but
just got in front and hit all the balloon shots.
Mocha is breaking through and getting some damage done, but James is going to have the tier 3 lead. He knocked out the board. He's going to keep the Fox alive.
He's going to defend. He's going to defend.
But that was a lot of damage coming out from Mocha there.
Yeah, true, and he's adding economy.
But the problem is if Mocha keeps...
It's going to be good in this situation, right? When there are a lot of army running around the map.
Exactly. I think that re-rally for Mocha was a mistake because that's where the Fox really shines, you know, picking off those units before they get in that big deathball clump.
Yeah.
And now James is on the offensive. He's looking for some bacon here, but Mocha switches into a lot of squirrels, which I think is really smart.
Yeah, exactly. James' decks has a big weakness that he have no real AoE damage, so he has no answer against mass tier 1. He just have scams, but they don't scale as well as Skunk or Toad or Boar. So Mocha recognized this and just decided to spam tier 1, which is great against anything James has in his deck, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to try to leverage his economic advantage. And this is it's a little bit counterintuitive at first to people, but it's a really good way to deal with the opponent having a Fox you can't really take out, is just overwhelm them, you know, with tier 1. And
if you are adding economy, you can definitely do that. Just spam tier 1 and pigs, and the Fox is not that much of it.
But the firepower here from all these Falcons from James just might be too much. Mochaccino's still moving in. He's got some snakes left, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually going to clean up, though.
If the snakes was not a mistake, maybe. Because they are going to be built a little bit slower than squirrels.
And keep in mind, you know, Mochaccino's got the better economy here, so he can afford to just keep sending waves and waves.
He's bleeding so much unit, and he won't have a better economy forever. So eventually, he's going to follow, and the traders are very, very bad for. I don't think you can even call it trade at this point of the game. It's just the Fox army hunting army stuff for free. Yeah, it's bleeding a lot of units.
Yeah, and now that the second base is kind of gone dry, the economies are evening out, and you know, I thought one thing I was thinking about in that follow-up attack was the fact that Mocha had a lot of tier 1 against the tier 2 of James, so there was kind of that window where, you know, Mocha just had a lot more units, right, because he was reproducing so much faster, but James has stabilized. He's got his really tier 2 heavy army back together, being a little bit risky with this Fox. Doesn't want to get a corner, but James has some of the best Fox handling in the business here.
The army split in two with the weird passing.
Oh, Mocha finally takes out the Fox.
Yeah.
A little bit of miss. Right when I was saying James' Fox micro is awesome, is, you know, when he screws up a little bit there.
The Fox was standing there for way too long. Mocha didn't even target it that fast. But,
right.
The Fox was just right next to the snakes, and eventually Mocha saw it. It was an instant death. You just can't stay in snake range as the Fox. But now Mocha is following out, so it's not lost for James, not at all. Or it's going to be difficult at least. Mochaccino
looks like Mocha wants
huge
another
amount of boars.
Yeah, he wants
but he's
another
going to wait
boar.
for a boar. Yeah, it's a bit weird to wait for a boar.
And James is going to build up a whole bunch of lizards. If he does get the boar, that's going to punish him quite nicely.
Yeah, nice. That's prescience from Mocha.
This has kind of become a pretty neat game here. Now, Mocha's kind of got one last push in him from the looks of it. You know, he's basically mined out all of his mills. I guess he can try to get over to the 9 o'clock there, but it's only a couple, you know, cabins and campfires.
Oh, he's starving. Yeah, that's why I was so surprised for him to go boar. I don't think he had that much time, and James certainly did not think Mocha would wait for a boar. That's why he went for a massive amount of lizards.
Yeah, and this could actually, if James moves in right now, you know, Mocha's got 360 food wrapped up into that boar that's not here yet. And the lizards take the engagement just a little bit too early without the chameleons, so that's good for Mocha, but these cams are coming in to try to clean up shop.
The snakes could kill the chameleon though. You need to be careful. Oh,
this game is coming down to the wire, but... Yeah, I think James is finally busted through though. The boar is finally here, but maybe a little bit too late. All these falcons gonna take him down from the sky.
Can he focus fire the squirrel fast enough?
Both players are starving.
One falcon.
Oh man.
Whoa.
All right, James doesn't have any. Okay, never mind. He's got these farms that Mocha took out earlier, so he's okay. Oh boy, but he didn't build one. James, what are you doing? Yo, he didn't want to sell his tier 2? Okay, he's got time. He's fine. He's totally fine. Oh, he's got this base up here in the 3 o'clock. I didn't see that for a second.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mocha's got a boar and a dream. Let's see if he can make it work.
It's a very strange scenario right now.
Needs to get that other snake over there. Okay, Mocha scouts this base from James. And that looks like it's going to be the focal point of this attack, but he only brings a snake, and James is going to take that snake out for free, and that might just be the nail in the coffin.
Oh, he saw the boar, and James saw it. Oh, it's game over. James saw the cell on the boar.
Yeah, I think Mocha is just trying to figure out what he can possibly do in this game. Sells the boar, but right underneath James's nose, and James is just going to come in here and clean it up.
I was a bit ahead of the time.
Yeah, I'm at like 1356, but Mocha's got the desperation moles here. Gonna try to make it happen, but I think James is just gonna slowly but surely end this one here.
Yeah. Yeah, before the cell on the board, it looked like a bit of a puzzle, like a single player puzzle from a strategy game.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, but you didn't have enough worth in war and stuff to keep the fight.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on a cast with me. It was a lot of fun, man. We got to talk about the Magnificent 21 coming up, guys. If you haven't signed up for that, go ahead and sign up, please. It's going to be a lot of fun. And with that, we've got some really exciting stuff coming up next. We've got Mishi going up against Arelu over on Kerpa's channel here. So we're going to go give him a raid to let that get started. And thanks everybody again. And we will see you guys on Sunday for the finals. And enjoy some great Kerpa casting and some high-level matches coming up next.